this problem. Next question, number 14C, also asking about interval notation. Solve absolute value of 2 minus x over 4 minus 3 greater or equal to 1. Once again, all this problem, I remember I worked it out at least a couple of times during the previous sessions. So don't forget to view these old sessions, because that's also going to help you if you have a problem with any of these problems from the take-home test. So over here, the first step is to isolate the absolute value. Anybody wants to tell me what would be a first step?
You would add 3 to both sides.
Very good. So we add 3 to both sides of the inequality. So here we get absolute value of 2 minus x over 4. The first step is to make sure that absolute value is all by itself. It's equal to 4. Now, if absolute value of something, let's take a look at this here like that. If absolute value of x is greater or equal to a number, let's say k. If you look at in the number line, you're looking at all the numbers that are larger than k units away from 0. So if this is k, and if this is minus k, so we're talking about all the numbers that are larger than 10 units, k units from 0. So it would be all the number to the right of k and all the number to the left of negative k. Okay? So in this case, it would be all the number that are greater than, well, we're going to include the endpoints here because it's equal to all the number greater or equal to k, or all the number that are less than or equal to minus k. Now, if I relate this to this problem here, instead of x, I have 2 minus x minus 4. So the two areas that we are talking about is 2 minus x over 4. Instead of x, I'm going to use 2 minus x minus 4. Has to be greater or equal to, your case, 4, or 2 minus x over 4 is less than or equal to minus 4. So basically, once you understand the basic concept of this, whatever you have inside the absolute value, you just place it here and put it in this format. And your k is 4 and negative 4, and your x is this expression. Okay, once again, if you don't follow this, please put the x in front of your name. Otherwise, keep the check mark in front of your name. Alright, so now we need to solve for x. Can somebody tell me how do you solve for x here for this condition? What's the next step?
Multiply both sides by the denominator to get rid of it.
You could do that. You could multiply each term by 4. Right, but before we do that, can we just eliminate the 2? Would it be easier? Can I just subtract negative 2? So that would be 2, right? Now we can multiply both sides by negative 4. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if I multiply both sides by negative 4, remember, when you multiply by a negative, you have to change the direction of inequality, right, to its opposite direction. That's the only difference between solving equations and inequality. Once you multiply by a negative, you have to change the direction of the inequality. So in this case, we get x is less than or equal to -8. Does that make sense? Okay, or, okay, we do the same thing here. We subtract 2 from both sides of the inequality here. So there we get -6 greater or equal to -x/4. Now if I multiply both sides by -4, I have to change the direction of inequality again. So x would be equal to 24 plus greater or equal to 24. Okay, are there any questions so far? So if I look at this in the number line, we're talking about all the numbers that are to the left of -8, which would be this one. All the numbers to the left of -8, and all the number that are to the right of 24, including 24. So the region would be very similar to the basic one we had here. Would be all the numbers to the right and left of a couple of numbers, like in this case would be 24 and -8. We can easily check our answer to, if I pick a 0, which is not the solution, and plug it in here, then it should confirm that 0 is not a solution. 2 minus 0 would be 2. Absolute value of 2 would be 2. 2 minus 3 would be equal to -1. -1, is it greater than 1? No. So that confirmed that 0 is not a solution. So that means that is the correct answer. If you pick 25 or -9, you would see that would make sense in this inequality. So that is a solution. Now, interval notation that you asked, to write in interval notation, you would write it as all the numbers that are between 24 and positive infinity. We use brackets here to show the endpoints are included. So this is positive infinity. Or you use union for or, and we use brackets here to include -8, comma negative infinity. So that's how you write that. This is positive infinity. So that would be interval notation. Okay. Kathy, what is it you typed that part of the answer confused you? Do you have a microphone? You want to tell me what part you don't follow?
Yeah, I understand it on the number line. It's just when you put it in the interval notation with the brackets and the parentheses that it gets confusing to me. Now, I understand it if you were to put that on the number line, but I don't know why it seems when you write it down in the interval notation, it feels like a different language.
Okay. The interval notation is another way to show a range of numbers. So let's say if I want to show all the numbers in between, let's say 1 and 3, including 3, excluding 1. If I want to show this here, this part here for interval notation. Well, this would be all the number between 1 and 3. That's one way to show it. Interval notation would be just another way to show the same thing. So we use parentheses if the endpoint is not included, and we use brackets when the endpoint is included. So this would be how you show interval notation. So that would be, do you follow that?
Yes, I think I'm understanding it now.
Okay, good. So let's take a look at another one. Let's say if I have 2 here. Let's say we want to know all the numbers that are to the right of 2. This would be let's include this 2. Let's say all the numbers that are greater or equal to 2. So if I want to write an interval notation, I'm going to use brackets here to include the 2, and then put plus infinity here. And we use parentheses for infinity because the endpoint is not defined, so that's how you use it. Okay? So that's just another way to show the range of numbers, interval notation. Okay, any question, anyone? Let me go back again. If I'm missing your question in the chat box, just put the X in front of your name. That way I can go back and read and respond to you. I have few people are not responding at all. More, and also you're there. No, you're not responding. Please, you need to put a check mark in front of your name if you're there.